Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is a 577th Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. This is a very rare 4v4 Barbarian Invasion battle, and it's even more rare because there's no Roman faction in this battle. So let's say a very, very rare battle here. And this is fought on a custom map hosted by Brotherhood member First Prime. And here is First Prime, who has bought the Sarmatian faction. Now First Prime has got 5 archers, 4 heavy infantry, 4 spearmen and 6 cavalry. If we have a look at his Sarmatian virgin foot archers there, these girls have got a good long range, they got quite a good defense, and they can cause a lot of damage to enemy troops. And here we have his heavy infantry here, his step horde chosen warriors. Okay, just like to show you their swords. If you notice, their swords have got a curved end there, so these swords are for hacking and slashing rather than stabbing. So it'd be interesting to see how well they do. To complement his heavy infantry, he has got his Bosphorus infantry, who are spearmen. Now these of course are anti-cavalry infantry, but they're also good at fighting infantry as well. So they've they've got a double use really. They're quite good. Okay, and to say he's got his cavalry there, his Sarmatian cavalry, auxiliary cavalry there. So it'd be interesting to see how well he does with the Sarmatians. I haven't seen him use Sarmatians before, so it could be maybe his first time of using them. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Danny, who has bought the Alemanni faction. Now Danny has got 6 lancers, 8 chosen axemen, 3 archers and 2 berserkers. Okay, so let's have a closer look at his army there. There's his chosen axemen there, where they're effective against armor axes. Remember, these guys can cut heavy, wide swathes through heavily armored troops. And then you've got his Lombard berserkers. Now these guys got massive attack specifications, really big fear factor, taking morale away from enemy troops, making them more susceptible to routing. And you don't mess around with these guys. And they're so tough, we only allow 2 of them instead of 3 like we have in Rome Total War. He's gone for the Lombard longer range archers. Now these guys, as you can see, have got no armor, so they are susceptible to damage from enemy archers, but they have got a long range. So that's what he's gone for. They're long range archers rather than armored medium range archers. And if you notice here, he's gone for the Burgundian Lancers. Now these are heavy cavalry, but they're fast moving, and the biggest charge bonus in this game is 10, and that's what these guys have got. Remember, the charge bonus is the impact and penetration, and these guys have got the highest charge bonus. Let's look at the upgrades. Oh my gosh, 4, 5, 6, 7. He has fully upgraded these Burgundian Lancers. So these guys have already got quite good specifications with that massive 10 charge bonus, but he's fully upgraded them as well, so that makes them like super cavalry. Okay, our next team mate is Barbarian Invasion player Gerwin, who has bought the Slavs faction. Now Gerwin has got 7 spearmen, 7 archers and 6 cavalry. If we have a look here, you'll see there's his step heavy spearmen. Of course, these are anti-cavalry, but also they're good at fighting infantry as well. So they've kind of got a double purpose. Now these archers that he's bought here, these step raiders, are probably the best archers in the game. They got really high defense, they do a lot of damage, and they've got long range as well. So yeah, they're pretty good. They say they could be the best archers in the game. And he's got his cavalry there, the step lancers, but he's only got light cavalry. Okay, they're step lancers, they're light cavalry, so it'll be interesting to see how well they do during the course of the battle. As I say, I'm not sure if Gerwin has used the Slavs before, so it'll be interesting to see how well he does with them during the course of the battle. Our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, who has bought the Sassanid faction. Okay, and I've got Sugden Warriors here. I've got 9 Sugden Warriors. If you look closely, you'll see they're carrying effective against armor maces, and these Sugden Warriors are really good infantry, solid infantry with good attack specifications. Then you've got the Desert Archers. Now these guys have got long range, pretty good defense, so they're pretty good archers. So the infantry and archers in the Sassanid faction are really good, okay, but their real strength is their cataphracts. Okay, now these really are the tanks of the Barbarian Invasion world. You can see they're armoured from head to toe, and I think with just gold defence on, they've got a massive 36 defence on them. With just a gold shield, sorry, they've got 36 defence, plus they've got a 9 charge bonus. Remember, 10 is the highest charge bonus in the game. These guys have got a 9 charge bonus, plus a 36 defence. So that just goes to show how tough these cataphracts are. My general unit is a Clibanarii Immortal unit. Now these guys got 2 hit points, big defense specifications, and really good all-round specifications. They are a horse archer unit, but if you auto-attack them, they use effective against armor maces. Make no mistake, this is probably the best cavalry unit in the game, possibly, with its 2 hit points. So there we are. We've got a lot of diversity. We've got First Prime with the Sarmatians. We've got Danny with the Alemanni faction. We've got Gerwin with the Slav faction, and we got myself with the Sassanid faction. This has got the potential to be a really great battle, and it's a very unusual battle too, and I think you're going to enjoy it. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Schemer, who's got the Romano-British faction. Now Schemer has got 3 archers, 6 cavalry, and 11 infantry. Okay, let's have a look at his cavalry here. Now you'll see that these guys are the Grail Knights. Now just check the upgrades on these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fully upgraded Grail Knights. Okay, now these Grail Knights, as you know, most cavalry units in this game are 54 men. If you notice, this has only got 32 men. The Grail Knight specifications are so high, you only get 32 men in this unit, and he has fully upgraded the Romano British Grail Knights there. Plus he's got 1 Sarmatian cavalry unit as well. And then we'll have a quick look at his infantry, and I think he's got a combination infantry here of Federati infantry, which are spearmen, so he'll put them on the front of his battle formation to deter a cavalry attack. And then he's got his British legionnaires. These guys of course can throw pilers, so they've got as you can see them carrying the pilers there in their shield hand. So they obviously missile troops there. But I see he's got a combination of legionnaires and those spear units as well for anti-cavalry. So and he's got his Busalari missiles here. These are crossbowmen, so they fire effective against armor crossbow bolts. So he's got quite an interesting army build there, quite a good combination there. And as I say, fully upgraded Grail Knights. So it'll be interesting to see how well they do. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Julius Caesar, who's bought the Saxons faction. Now he has got 6 archers, 9 chosen axemen, and 6 cavalry. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see how well he does with that faction. I think that might be the first time he's played with it. Their next teammate is Brotherhood member Barkyman, who has bought his faction of choice, the Celts. Okay, he's got 7 infantry, 3 berserkers, 6 cavalry, and 4 wolfhounds. It'll be interesting to see. Okay, his elite infantry are the Callow Glasses. Okay, can you see those big swords that they carry there? And as I say, this is Barclayman's faction of choice. There's his 3 berserker units, his Hounds of Kulan. Okay, now these guys haven't got such high specifications as other berserkers in the game, but they have got effective against armor maces, which other berserkers don't have. If you notice, they paint their bodies purple to add more fear, to scare the enemy. But we allow 3 berserkers for the Celts, but the rest of berserker units are only allowed 2 because their specifications are better. Here you can see he's got the wolfhounds. It'll be interesting to see how he's going to use these wolfhounds. You don't see them very often on the 30k battlefield. So that's his that's his Celt army there, and it'll be interesting to see how well he does with his faction of choice. Okay, their last teammate is OTD Pen G4P, who has bought the Roxolani faction. Okay, now he has got 8 archers, 6 infantry, and 6 cavalry. So he's gone heavy on the archers here, and he's got the Sarmatian Virgin Foot archers. We've seen those before. They got long range, do a lot of damage there. He's got his Step Horde Chosen Warriors. Okay, and he's got his Sarmatian Noble Cavalry. Okay, if you have a quick look at those, are good specifications there. So that's the enemy team there. You've got Schemer with the Romano-British. You've got Julius Caesar with the Saxons. You've got Barclayman with his faction of choice, the Celts. And of course we've got Penn here with his Roxolani faction. So there's the 2 teams. Should be a great one for you to watch. So just to repeat what I said earlier, this is a very rare Barbarian Invasion game because it's a 4v4. You don't often get 4v4 battles on Barbarian Invasion. Plus, there's no Roman faction at all in this game. So with no Roman faction and a 4v4, it is a very rare Barbarian Invasion battle, and it's a great one too, and I hope you enjoy this rare game. Okay, it's very early stage of the battle here. You can see that it'll be starting to get into the archer battle here because there's no heavily armored Roman units here. every single unit on the battlefield is susceptible to archer damage, so that's why everybody's bought so many archers. Here you can see those virgin foot archers there, shooting loads of volleys of arrows into the enemy archers opposite them. See First Prime's archers there against Penn's archers there. So as I say, it's going to be quite a big archer battle here, as every unit is susceptible to archer damage. So of course, if one side or the other could take out the enemy archers, and they could then concentrate their archer fire on the elite infantry of the enemy. So as I say, with no Roman factions in this battle, archers can be very, very important. Right, here's First Prime charging a cavalry unit over here, looking to take out the enemy archers there. But as you can see, Penn has spotted that and is counter-attacking with his cavalry. So my guess is here First Prime's going to pull that cavalry unit back, which he's doing there. But say, nice aggressive move there by First Prime, looking to move that cavalry unit across there to try and take out Penn's archers. But as I say, nice counter there by Penn. As I say, it's a massive archer battle here on this particular flank. But as I say, every single unit in this battle is susceptible to archer damage. Right, here's Barclay Man. He's launched the Wolfhounds. Beware of the Wolfhounds. Here they come. You don't see them very often. You can see they're suffering a lot of casualties from archers there. And there's a cavalry unit going to hit them up. Bang! As that cavalry unit smashes in there. But you can see those Wolfhounds are still fighting there. If you look carefully, can you see? And now they're going to attack the archers there. You can see the archers have pulled their swords out now and are fighting those Wolfhounds. I don't know, I think this is a bit of animal cruelty by Barclay Man here, using these Wolfhounds against these well-armed enemy troops. But you can see the dogs still fighting there, those Wolfhounds still fighting. But there you go, that was unfortunately the last one, just got killed there by those archers there. You can see Danny's got his long-range Lombard archers out here. Remember, he's got no armour on those archers, they just got long range, so they are susceptible to damage from other archers there. And you can see here once again First Prime charging that cavalry unit across, looking to take out enemy archers there. But you can also see that Penn has countered once again with one of his cavalry units here. But as I say, on this flank there is a heck of a lot of archers. But as I say, all the way through the factions here, there are a lot of archers, because everybody realises how important having archers are in this battle, as we said, because every unit in this battle is susceptible to archer damage. So to win an archer war would be a massive part of the battle here. You can see Barclay Man there has launched some more Wolfhounds here. Here you go, look, here they go, chasing towards the enemy archers there by the looks of it. Here we are, we're running with those Wolfhounds now. They're going to hit those archers, and bang, as they charge into those archers. If you notice there, I think it's Danny's bought an axe unit forward as well to try and counter the Wolfhounds. But you can see the Wolfhounds there attacking his archers and now attacking that axe unit as well. As I say, very, very rare to see dogs used on the 30k battlefield on Barbarian Invasion. So as you can see, Barclay Man here trying that. Is even a cavalry unit's been charged in to take those dogs out as well, those Wolfhounds out as well. So as I say, I think the Wolfhounds are doing well, still being alive actually, after being attacked by archers with swords, effective against armour axemen, plus a cavalry unit. So I think the Wolfhounds have done quite well. But I'm not sure how many of them are actually left there. It looks like maybe just one Wolfhound left there attacking that archer unit. That Wolfhound I think is doing well. Look, he's doing quite well. Still attacking that. Still attacking, but it's just too many of them there. And there you go. It's sad to see him go down there. But yeah, as you can see, Barclay Man using the Wolfhounds there. But as I say, the archers in this particular battle are very, very important here, and that's why the archer battle is so important. As I say, whoever wins the archer battle then can concentrate their arrow fire onto elite enemy infantry there. Okay, there's another Wolfhound unit there. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Barclay Man have 4 Wolfhound units, and he's charging this one forward, but this one's taking a lot of casualties from archer fire. So they might not even make contact with the enemy there before they rout. They suffered so many casualties there. There you go. Didn't even get close to the enemy there. They just suffered so many, as I say, casualties there. Made them rout. Let's say over here on this flank, you can see I've moved my Immortal General forward. Let's just pause the game for a second here. So say I've got my archers there, and I've moved my Clibanarii Immortal General forward there, because I'm a bit worried about that enemy cavalry unit smashing into my archers. So I've brought that Clibanarii Immortal unit over to counter any possible cavalry charge. But just look at the archers that Julius Caesar's got here, causing a lot of casualties to our allies' archers. They say Danny's archers have been reduced quite considerably. And as I say, over on this flank, first prime here facing Penn, they both had really a good lot of archers each there, so they're kind of almost countering each other out. But I think Penn has also been using his archers to take out Danny's archers as well, so he's kind of been fighting two lots of archers here. But as I say, these virgin foot archers, good range, can do a lot of damage. And as I say, he seems to have done a lot of damage to Danny's archer units there. Let's say you can either choose, when you go to the Alemanni faction, you can either choose the medium range armoured archers, or you can go for these long range archers without any armour on. And of course, without armour, they are very susceptible to missile damage. The armour does make a difference, but of course, if you choose the armoured archers, you only get medium range. So it's a kind of take your choice kind of thing, which ones you want to bring to suit you. Okay, so can you see here that I've got... let's just pause again for a second here. So I've brought my Clibanarii Immortal unit out to the front of my army to attract enemy archer fire. Now, make no mistake, this Clibanarii Immortal unit with its 2 hit points and its massive defense can take enemy archer fire and very rarely suffer any casualties at all. So what I'm trying to do here is attract enemy archer fire onto my Clibanarii unit here, my Immortal unit here, just to try and get the enemy to waste their arrows on this unit. If you notice, I was charging forward there, looking to take out that one archer unit, but you can see that the enemy responded with 2 cavalry units there to attack my general unit. But if you notice here, I'm going to stand well within range of the enemy Saxon archers there. Now you can see a volume of arrows coming in from those Saxon archers. I mean, they're really targeting my Clibanarii Immortal unit, which is just what I want them to do. Because as I say, this unit, you can see the arrows coming in on them, and I haven't suffered a single casualty. So all those arrows that the enemy are firing at me are just being wasted, shooting into my unit that's not going to suffer any casualties from those arrows. And I can stand there, and my guys are shooting arrows into them, so I'm going to be causing casualties on them. And all those arrows coming in on me is not going to cause me any casualties at all. So the enemy can waste their arrows as much as they want on this unit, and that kind of suits me. And as I say, I'm shooting arrows into them, causing them casualties, and they're just wasting their arrows, shooting them at this Immortal unit here. So that's what they're doing here. You can see all those archers shooting in on me. I haven't suffered a single casualty, and yet you can see the volume of enemy arrows coming in on me, and not one single casualty there. But I've given them a lot of casualties because I've been shooting into them all the way. And if you notice here, I've still got my 4 archers that I don't think I've used yet, so they're fully arrowed up, if you like, ready to use when I'm ready to use them. And the enemy have wasted a lot of their arrows on my Immortal unit there. So as I say, it's quite a good tactic. Anybody that plays Barbarian Invasion, if you bring this particular unit, as I say, and you can attract enemy archer fire, you can get them to waste a lot of arrows on you. As I say here, Danny's archer units have been very, very battle depleted by the enemy archers. As you can see there, the archers that he's got left, as I say, are very battle depleted. And you can see that Gerwin's brought some of his archers forward there. Remember, his archers are possibly the best in the game, and I've noticed he's held them back a little bit in reserve there, and he'll probably bring them forward when he feels the time is right. As you notice here, can you see that just pause the game for a second here. Right, you can see that Schemer has brought his infantry over from that other flank. Remember, he was on that other flank there, and he's moved his infantry over there. He's left his cavalry and archers on the other flank, but he's moved his infantry over here. So it makes me wonder whether the team plan is possibly to attack our centre here with a double attack there, maybe, because there would be a reason for him moving his infantry over there. So it'll be interesting to see why he's actually done that. And as I say here, I don't think I've used my archers yet. So as I say, they're fully intact, and they've got a full complement of arrows ready to use. So As I say, if you notice here, I'm moving my infantry and archers over to the left a little bit here to stay in contact with my teammates. As I say, those step raiders of Gerwin's, look, now possibly, as I say, the best archers in the game. Really good defense, long range, and they do a lot of damage as well. Can you see he's taking this one archer unit quite a bit forward there from his main army? Now, why he's doing that, I don't know. He must have something in mind here. He must have something to target here. But that archer unit is extremely exposed, and I'm surprised the enemy haven't sent a cavalry unit out there to smash that archer unit. Maybe he must have a tactical reason for doing that. Maybe he's trying to draw cavalry units out to try and take that unit out so he can target the cavalry unit with his other archers. Maybe that's a possible tactic that he's doing there. But that unit is quite forward there, and could be very susceptible to a cavalry hit. And there you are, that unit's been routed. So now I've got my archers. As I say, I've just brought them into the fray here. They should be, as I say, fully arrowed, and they were fully intact there. So I'm bringing them into the fray now, shooting against those Saxon archers there. As you can see, as I say, the Saxons use a lot of their arrows on my Clibonari Immortal unit. So hopefully they won't have too many arrows left to shoot into me. As I say, so I've moved my archers forward here now to target the, as I say, the enemy archers there. I see Schemer's got his archers out there as well. Right, can you see here that Gerwin's running a cavalry unit forward here, looking to try and smash one of those archer units there, but you can see that Schemer's counter-attacking here, and it's going to be a collision, and bang, as they smash into each other there. And as you can see, that Schemer's unit there has just routed Gerwin's unit there. I thought Schemer was going to run that cavalry unit into my archers there, but luckily he pulled back. I was just going to move my general unit, fast-moving general unit forward there to counter that. So as I say, the archer battle still going on here between the Saxons and my my desert archers here. Let's say the archers and the infantry are really good in the Sassanid faction, but their real strength is the cataphracts, the tanks of the Barbarian Invasion world, with their such great defense and so well armored. As I say, look at Danny's archers now, really battle depleted. Look, that's all the archers he's got left. It just goes to show how many casualties he's suffered there from enemy archer fire. And as I say, every unit in this game is susceptible to archer damage now. So as I say, archers very important in this particular battle. As I say, when you got Roman troops, they seem to be quite almost impervious to archer fire. They suffer a few casualties, but not that many. But with all the factions we've got in this battle, they will all suffer from archer damage if enemy archers get close enough. Okay, so you can see here, we're targeting there. I can see that Schemer's got one of his archer units there as well. And as I say, there we'll be targeting their Saxon archers and Schemer's Romano-British archers there with my desert archers. Okay, if you notice, I've got my cavalry general near my archers to neutralise any possible enemy cavalry attack on my archers there. As I say, that Clibonari Immortal unit, if you want it to get into a hand-to-hand fight, it can, and it uses its effective against armour mace there. Right, you can see it charging forward there, but I can see enemy cavalry in behind the enemy archers there, so I'm probably a little bit hesitant to charge in, but I can use my it's also, as I say, a horse archer unit there, so I'm shooting arrows into the enemy archers as well, causing them casualties. So as I say, I think the next phase of the battle is going to be the infantry and cavalry hits, which is going to be really good. Okay, at this stage of the battle, you can see that I'm running two of my archer units that have fired all their arrows forward here in an alt attack on that enemy archer unit. Okay, you see me charge in there. Hopefully going to take that archer unit out, which I've done. But look at that enemy cavalry unit. It's just going to charge into them now with the impact. My guess is he's going to rout them, and bang, as he smashes in there. Threw them up in the air with the impact he hit them with there, and broke and routed both of those units. You can see me charging my cavalry unit in there, my general fast-moving Clibonari Immortal unit in there towards that cavalry unit. Just took my archers out. Now, if you notice here, can you see Schemer is doing a tactical move here with that cavalry unit? Can you see what he's trying to do? Okay, so if you notice here, can you see that he's moving that cavalry unit there towards his allies' cavalry and his own cavalry there, trying to draw my general unit over towards the rest of that enemy cavalry. Okay, so if I chase him, if I follow that cavalry unit, there's a chance I'm going to run into all that cavalry and possibly lose my general. Okay, can you see him deliberately running towards his allies' cavalry and his cavalry there? Stop for me to hit him, look, so the holding me there where he brought his cavalry over, but I didn't. I've backed my cavalry unit off there so that to thwart his plan of trying to get my general there. So that was a nice, a sneaky, good tactical move there by Schemer there. And as you can see here, you can see Julius Caesar's moving his Saxon infantry forward here, I think with a view to start the attack. As I say, I think the next phase of the battle here is going to be the infantry and cavalry going in. And as I say, this is going to be really exciting, and it could go either way. Okay, at this stage of the battle now, you can see that Julius Caesar's running his Saxon effective against armour axemen running towards my, it looks to me like he is heading definitely towards my Sugden Warriors here. Okay, so that's where he's going to take his effective against armour axemen towards my, as I say, my Sugden Warriors there. He's got his cavalry backing him up there as well. You notice here that Danis moved his Alemanni units over closer to my Sassanid faction units there to give me a bit of support if I need it. But as you can see here, the Saxon Julius Caesar being very aggressive here with his effective against armour axemen. Remember, my Sugden Warriors carry effective against armour maces, and bang, as the two infantries collide. You can see those two infantries collide there. Real impact there between my Sassanid infantry and the Saxon infantry there. You can see here that I'm going to charge my cavalry. Right, can you see my cataphracts here and my general? I'm going to smash through my engaged infantry and smash into that Saxon infantry there. You can see my cavalry starting to penetrate my own infantry there, and bang, as I smash into those Saxons there. Okay, you can see enemy cavalry smashing into me as well. The blue and the Saxon cavalry there smashing into me. You can see here some more Saxon cavalry coming in on my flank. Okay, so I'm being hit here by a lot of cavalry. Let's just pause the game for a second here. Right, you can see the Roxolani cavalry coming in, routed a couple of Danish units on their way through to try and smash into my cavalry. Okay, you can see the enemy cavalry charging there. You can see the Saxon cavalry smashing into me as well. You can see that charging in. And you've got some of, I think some of Barclayman's infantry here. Right, okay, so Barclayman's brought one of his Hound of Kulan berserkers up here. Remember, they take morale away from troops. They've got a big fear factor and big attacking specifications with their effective against armour maces. As I say, you can see Julius Caesar sought some cavalry around my flank to smash in. You've got all of Barclayman's cavalry there ready to smash into my Sassanid army. Okay, so as you can see, here's a concerted effort here to smash into my Sassanid army. You can see First Prime bringing reinforcements over here. You've got Danny's units over here trying to help as well. So they're trying to support me here, but they can see that the enemy attack is really smashing into my Sassanid army. Let's say I'll have my cataphracts there, auto-attacking there with their effective against armour sword. No, actually, I think they've only got swords. They haven't got effective against armour maces. Only my Immortal unit has that. But look at the massive amount of cavalry and infantry charging into my Sassanid army there. Okay, you can see my Sassanid blue army there, surrounded by a lot of enemy troops. There we've managed to rout the Saxon general, which is good news for us. There, as my cavalry smashes on through my infantry there, engages into the enemy troops there. Okay, so if you notice here, you'll see that my cavalry here, and you've got Danny's cavalry, and I think you've got First Prime's cavalry in there as well. We're chasing down the routers. Okay, we've routed a lot of enemy units there, and we're looking to chase them down. We don't want to let them rally. Okay, but here you can see that Barclayman is bringing his elite Callow Glass infantry in here to charge into the flank of my my infantry. Plus, he's got his Hounds of Kulan berserkers there. He's activated one of his berserker units here. Okay, make no mistake, with those effective against armour maces, these guys can do a lot of damage to my Sugden Warriors. Okay, you've got Barclayman's cavalry looking to smash into the rear of my Sassanid infantry as well, with a combination of his Callow Glass infantry and those berserkers. First Prime here moving his infantry forward here. As I say, we are trying to chase down the routers. Now over here on our left flank, you can see that it looks like Gerwin's infantry here are going to go up against Schemers Romano-British. Okay, so that could be an interesting scrap there over on the left flank. But over here on the right flank here, I can see a lot of enemy troops, including Berserkers, closing in on my infantry. Okay, here comes the enemy cavalry there. You can see those Celt cavalry smashing into the rear of my infantry, and bang, as they smash in there. Look at the damage the Berserkers are doing to my infantry as they smash them with those effective against armor maces. You'll see them really smash my infantry up into the air there with the impact of those effective against armor maces. Plus, as I say, with the impact of that Celt cavalry coming in on me as well. Plus, you can see the Calaglass infantry attacking me. I'm not sure how long my Sugden Warriors are going to hold against that. I can see units starting to rout already. Oh my gosh, I see now that Barclayman has activated all 3 of his Berserker units. Okay, so I've got all 3 of those Hounds of Kulan, plus the Celt infantry, plus the Celt cavalry, all charging in on me there. You can see here Barclayman's and Saxon's cavalry there creating havoc around the rear of our armies. As I say, I've rallied my cavalry, I brought them back here. Now I'm looking to smash into the rear of those Celt warriors. But, you know, when you hit those Berserker units are so tough that they can cause you so many casualties. And, of course, they're sapping morale away from my troops. I think all my infantry have just been taken out. I'm charging my cavalry in there, and bang! And I smash my cavalry into those Celt troops there. Okay, but all my infantry have now been routed. All my infantry have been routed and taken out. But here you can see my troops now, my cavalry there with their swords. I've alt attacked, so they're fighting with their swords there against those Celt cavalry and those Berserker units. You can see there, you see my guys fighting. As I say, they're really well armoured, but against Berserkers with effective against armour maces, and the cavalry and the enemy infantry as well. You can see those Calaglasses with those big swords. As I say, all my infantry has been routed. And there you are. Let's just pause the game for a second. So I'm up against 3 Berserkers, all that Celt cavalry, all that Celt infantry coming in here. And as I say, all my infantry has been routed, and all I've got is those 4 cavalry units left now against all those enemy infantry plus those Berserkers there. As you can see that Danny's general has been routed here. A lot of our Alemanni unit, a lot of Danny's units have been routed here by the enemy troops. Okay, you can see First Prime taking some of his spearmen over to help his ally on the other flank against Schemers Romano-British here. You can see him using those fully upgraded Grail Knights really effectively around the battlefield. And over here, as I say, on our left flank, our ally with his Slav spearmen there seems to be doing quite well against the Romano-British. But as I say, First Prime is running some reinforcements over there to help him. But as I say, over here on this flank, you can see all my infantry were killed and routed, and all I've got left now is my cavalry units fighting these Berserkers and infantry. There's one of my cavalry units, rallied cavalry units going into the back, and bang! And it smashed into the rear of those Celt cavalry and infantry there. You can see First Prime bringing some of his spearmen into the fray as well. But you can see a lot of my cavalry units there still trying to fight as hard as they can. But they're still being taken out. I've thrown in my general unit as well. But those 3 Berserker units are doing so much damage to our infantry and cavalry there that it might be a good idea for me to back my general out of there. Otherwise my general will be taken out. But it looks to me like we've routed most of the Celt infantry there. Just those Berserkers left. And you can see First Prime bringing his cavalry in there. You can see that First Prime's cavalry was going to look like he's charging, but he's going to move them over to the other flank. So, as I say, we've routed there, I think, most of the enemy troops here that were attacking my Sassanids. And as I say, you can see, here's my general that's still fighting the Berserker unit. Time to move that general away from those Berserkers. Run! Run, general, run! I think that might be the only unit that I've got left, possibly. Now is my general unit there, with just 2 men in, I think. There you go, you can see just my general and 1 immortal Clibanarii cavalryman left. That's all we got left out of my entire army. That's how badly I was smashed there on that flank. Here you can see First Prime charging his cavalry into the rear of those enemy Romano-British troops. Nice hit there by First Prime. Wouldn't surprise me if First Prime got some really good kills in this game. He's done extremely well with his archers. He's moved his cavalry well around the battlefield, smashing into the rear. See how he surges forward with his cavalry. He surges into the enemy troops there. He hit them, but then he surged forward with his cavalry there, causing a lot of casualties there and routing a lot of the enemy troops. He's bringing infantry over here as well, which is good. And as you can see, most of the Schemer's Romano British troops have now been routed there. So nice bit of support there by First Prime, helped out Gerwin quite well there. And let's just pause the game for a second here. So it looks like we've managed to go on to win the battle here. But here you can see all my dead cataphracts there. Now those were mostly taken out by berserkers. That's who mostly took those out, and you can see just a pile of them. And as I say, with 36 defense, just goes to show how powerful the enemy were there with those berserkers. And of course there was enemy cavalry and enemy infantry fighting as well. And as I say, you can see how intense the fighting was here by just the mass piles of dead. See all the different colour uniforms there as well, so it just goes to show how diverse this battle is. All the way across the battlefield here you can see piles of dead, and across onto the other flank as well. Quite intense fighting there between the Romano-British and our Slavs ally, and then First Prime brought his cavalry over there just to support him at the right time. So that was a nice bit of, as I say, support there by First Prime for Gerwin. And as I say, it looks like our team has managed to go on to win the battle. Oh, I've got another unit. I just found I got another unit, 4 men and 2 men in that. So out of my entire Sassanid army, I've got 6 men left. That's all I've got left out of my entire army. So that just goes to show how much of a battle of attrition this really was here, for all my Sassanid troops to be taken out like that. So say, I think First Prime seems to have quite a few of his infantry and cavalry left. I think Danny's only got a few battle depleted units left. He got 24 men in that unit, and 39 men in that unit, and I think that's the entirety of his army. That's all he's got left. And Gerwin, I don't know, I think he lost most of his troops as well. Gerwin did, but he did very well there. So as I say, I think now as we've won the battle, there might only be maybe 1 unit left for us to chase down. I always say, you know, like we've said in so many battle videos in the past, when the game is over, it's best for the losing team just to admit defeat, and then we can get back into the lobby, host up another game there. But say, or there's First Prime's infantry there. As I say, he seems to have quite a few units left in comparison to the majority of us there. And as I say, it's just, I think it's just 1 enemy unit left there for us to chase down. 1 unit, there you go. Just if we could just kill that unit, and I think that would be the end of the game. I can see my Equitai, my Clibanarii Immortal unit there coming over to just finish it off there. Probably chase him onto the red line, and then he'll probably it's been routed there. Now there we go, and that should, I would have thought, be the end of the game there. Yeah, there you are. And just say it's a really interesting and rare battle there. Okay, so just say really well played to everybody in the game there. It was a great battle. Let's say very rare. And as I say, it's an average victory. Now that surprised me. I thought it would be close. I don't know what you guys thought. Highest kills in the game goes to Brotherhood member Danny, 1,558. So really well done to Danny with his Alemanni faction, and well done to First Prime, got the 2nd highest kills with his Sarmatian faction there. So really well played. So like I say, really well played to Brotherhood member Schemer with Romano British, got some good kills there. Well done to Julius Caesar with his Saxons. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to, but I think that's the first time he's used that faction, so he's just getting used to that. Well done to Barclayman, highest kills in his team, always does well with Celts. And well done to OTD Penn with his Roxlana there. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted. My Sassanid army, I got some quite good kills, bearing in mind I was quite smashed there by all those enemy troops coming in on me. As I say, well done to First Prime, 2nd highest kills in the game, and well done to Danny there, as I say, with the highest kills in the game. Gerwin probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but he still did very well with his Slavs faction there. Okay, so just to say, really well played once again to everybody. Again, quick look at the statistics of my Sassanids. As I say, the cataphracts didn't do brilliantly there. The Clibonari Immortal unit did quite well. Cataphracts, the archers did okay, and the Sugden Warriors did okay, bearing in mind that my army was pretty smashed there by all those enemy troops coming in. So just say once again, really well played to everybody in the game. I like the diversity in this game as well. Very unusual not to have Rome. So we had the Sassanids, the Sarmatians, the Alemanni and the Slavs. So that was really diverse for our team there. Then you've got the Romano-British. You've got the Saxons, you've got the Celts, and you've got the Roxolani there. So there you go, a very diverse battle with no Rome in. Very, very rare. And actually, I think it might be the first time I ever played a 4v4 without any Rome. And it was a 4v4. I hope you enjoyed it, and bye for now.